Good. I have one other question for you, which has to do, about a year and a half ago, I started recording my dreams and have had it's become a real joy for me every morning to wake up and write down my dreams. And I have had
What's the table look like in your dream?
It looks exactly the same. And I know one of the ideas I've come around to is that our experience here is similar, in a way, could be similar to a dream.
We'll talk about that. We'll hear you, and then we'll explain that to you.
But in my dream experiences, I had something unexpected came along, which I've begun to have a few so-called lucid dream experiences where I've become awake and aware during the dream state, which are really interesting, although I've not been able to really stabilize that experience. But I've also had the experience of this, what some people call the hypnagogic state, or what I call like the in-between state, which you're sort of groggy when you're first just coming out of sleep and into wakefulness. And you can see imagery in that state that's a little bit different than dream imagery. It's almost like you're seeing raw energy. You're seeing like swirling energy patterns that are constantly in motion, constantly forming new objects. And I've seen in that state sort of like translucent type figures that will start to fill in. And from the description I've had of different people who have mediumistic abilities, have they found a way to stabilize that hypnagogic type state, or what is going on in that state that I'm getting a peek at?
Well, you're slightly talking about two different things, and yet they are related in this sense. Energy is all around, and you have all trained yourself, or were born knowing how, because of the development of your physical apparatus, to translate energy into sight. Mm-hmm. So because you do it without contemplating or thinking about it, you don't even realize that you're doing it, but you are. Right. You're translating energy, and that's why you see. And that's why Seth was explaining that everyone's energy translation is a little bit different, and that's why that table is unique to everyone who is looking at it. Okay. But then the more you talk about it and the more you adapt to your physical environment, then the more you do begin to see some things in similar ways as you compare and try to follow the descriptions that others are offering. Mm-hmm. In the same way that your grid is your point of attraction that equals what happens around you in your wake state, it is also the reason for what happens to you in your dream state. What you think and feel and manifest in your wake state, and what you think and feel and manifest in your dream state, are all because of what you're thinking and feeling. In other words, law of attraction is bringing it to you, and you are translating it. So the distinction that you're really wanting to highlight here is, what's the difference between my translation in my wake state and my translation in my dream state? And we say the biggest difference is the continuity of your wake state. Right. And that's because there are more people involved in the expectation in the wake state. Where in your dream state, there are fewer of them around and you are freer to translate freely. But in any case, what you're translating in your dreams is a pure reflection of what that basis of vibrational point of attraction really is. People misunderstand because they think they've been dreaming all night long, when really they've been offering a vibration all night long, and that dream that felt like it lasted a long time was interpreted by them very quickly during the time that they were coming back into wake state. It doesn't feel that way to you, we know, but that is what's happening. It is the translation back into the wake state. And so your dreams are enormously affected by your wake state, because the belief system that you hold in your wake state is the basis for the dreams to begin with.
Is it fair to say that in the dream state, the dream environment, the visual environment, will respond faster to your emotional state?
Yes, and that is really the benefit of it, because there is a different expectation in your dream state than there is in your wake state.
So if you have dark thoughts, you might see dark clouds immediately, whereas in waking reality, you're creating those dark clouds. It just may take them a little bit longer. It's
perfectly stated.
It's slower.
You have said in perfect words the best distinction that we've ever heard of the difference between the physical translation and the dream state translation. Yes. Okay. So to carry that a little further, if you awaken from a dream that isn't pleasing, it would be good for you to change something in your patterns of thought, in your focus, in your accomplishing of your grid, in your managing of the vibration of your grid.
So it's a manifestation that you get to, just like a waking reality manifestation gives you an opportunity to see what you've created.
Yes.
But it sort of gives you a little preview.
Yes.
That you can react to early.
And in answer to our earlier friend's question, it's another level of manifestation. Let's call it a manifestation that provides more clarity. And isn't it nice to get that clarity in a dream before you've attracted something that you then have to move away from?
Right.
In other words, it's much easier to deal with unwanted manifestations in your dream state than it is in your wake state, only because your attention to it. If you've got something going on vibrationally and you don't know it and it manifests, now your attention to the thing that's manifest makes it more difficult for you to not give your attention to it.
I previously heard you describe one of Esther's out-of-body type experiences. Is that really a form of lucid dreaming? Is it, or is that another form of manifestation? Is it a category in and of itself, or is it analogous to a dream?
Well, we put it in the category in and of itself for this reason. Usually in your dream state, you know, there's a different quality of your awareness of your world. Esther became aware of it. Jerry and Esther went to Hawaii every January for about 20 years and spent a week or two on Maui. And every morning that Esther would awaken, she liked remembering how they got there. And she liked remembering her relationship. They were in the same room for all of those years. And so it felt like, in a way, it felt like another home to them. But she liked the continuity of knowing that they had been in an airplane to get there. Where in your dream state, you don't necessarily have that stable feeling of continuity.
Right.
The out-of-body experience ties together, usually, not always, but usually, your now reality with that altered state of consciousness. The out-of-body experience is, while the dream state reflects, you're going to like this, the dream state reflects your vibrational stance and just shows the manifestation of it. The out-of-body experience does too, but the out-of-body experience is looking at it through the eyes of Source. So it's like getting a glimpse into your world from that broader perspective.
Okay.
So that's why, for Esther, at least, as she's flying around the golf course, she knows she's flying around the golf course, but she's flying around the golf course. It wasn't a dream. It was broader perspective. It was her energy moving around the golf course. And now that you're mentioning this, we want to say to her, and she will hear it back when she listens to the recording, that's much the way Jerry is experiencing her world now.
Interesting. Okay. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And the lucid dream state, where you're in a normal dream state, but then you somehow trigger, suddenly something happens, you become aware that you're dreaming, and you start to manipulate in that environment.
Now that's that stage between dream state and that out-of-body experience.
So you're shifting toward that out-of-body type experience.
You are. In other words, it's that broader perspective. You're viewing from that broader perspective.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Sure.